Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Absolution #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Absolution #1. It is an AWA Upshot comic, and it is by Peter Milligan and Mike Deodato Jr. And we start off on the first page with an assassin named Nina Ryan. She is scaling a building because she has a mission to kill a man named Lloyd Nixon. And she says she doesn't have anything against him personally, she's just supposed to kill him. And then we get a flashback where we see Nina is having surgery performed on her, and we see these doctors kind of jokingly placing what seem to be bombs in her skull. We also see they're doing something to modify her eyes, which we find out is something that's like an interface where she can interact with an audience and see like chats and whatnot, but it's also a camera for the audience to see what she's doing. So this is basically a live camera feed in her head, and someone's watching. We're not sure who yet. We also get a look at this absolution gauge, which measures her absolution score. And from the looks of it, her score isn't doing too well right now. So once she breaks into the facility, she takes care of the guards who are unaware of her presence until she attacks. And we can see during this attack, we're getting little boxes of people live commenting, and they're definitely wanting more violence and in creative ways. Then we cut to three people who are basically television hosts that are hosting a program that is talking about absolution and what that means and how you achieve it. So in this society, if you commit a crime, you can either be put to death or you can be part of a game that's called Absolution, but it's a popularity contest game. So you have to make the audience happy. And the happier you make them, the closer you get to absolution on that gauge. And then once you hit absolution, you get to go free. But if you fall below a certain measurement on that gauge, the bombs that they planted inside of you will explode. So Nina continues to go around after she kills the muscle, and she is spotted by the ladies that live in the house of Mr. Nixon. And of course, as she fights these women, the chat room goes crazy because they want to see scantily clad women shooting guns at each other. And because of this, her absolution score goes up. So after everybody's dead, Nina finally confronts Lloyd Nixon, and he actually makes her an offer. He says that he can take the bombs and modifications out of her body if only she'll just become one of his girls. And as he says this, it seems like Nina's thinking about it hard, and that's where I'm going to stop it. I don't want to spoil anything else. So as you might be able to tell from the cover of this comic, it is definitely supposed to feel like a movie of some kind. The title even had like the Blade Runner font, and you might have been able to tell, but some of the characters in the book actually look like actors. It's very reminiscent of the book that I've reviewed called The Fourth Man from AWA, where you definitely see that they modeled the characters in the book after actors. And not only was it the movie poster cover and the characters that look like actors, this really reminded me of like The Running Man, but like a new version for the modern age. I'm a fan of Peter Milligan. He's a pretty solid writer. I'm more familiar with his horror and other books that have crazy ideas in them than this, which was a bit more straightforward, a bit more action heavy. It definitely did feel like a movie or a TV show, but I thought it was pretty good. I had a fun time reading it, and I want to see what happens to the main character after this issue. The art was solid. I really liked the page layouts in this, and it had a lot of really cool action scenes in it. So even though this one doesn't have like the most original story ever, I thought it was still a pretty good comic. And especially if you haven't watched The Running Man, I could see this feeling a little bit more fresh. So I'm going to give this book a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was fun and interesting. It was definitely a little bit above average. So if you saw anything you liked, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store, and we will see y'all in the next one.